Here.
Commissioner Ralston.
Here.
Commissioner Reed.
Here.
Commissioner Rodriguez-Alvin.
Here.
Commissioner Sperber.
Here.
Assistant City Attorney Brandon Sindall.
Here.
City Planner Jim Rundle.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Mr. Rundle, can you please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yes. Please join me. I pledge you allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moving on. Oh, Jesus. Public comment. I am going to open up public comment. Is there anyone here wishing to make public comment at this time? And seeing none, I will close public comment. Item 5, approval of the agenda. May I get a motion, please? Anybody?
Motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Second.
We have a oh, wait,
Oops,
wait.
sorry.
It's all right.
My bad.
I have
Can we back out?
Yeah.
Yes.
There it is.
yes.
There you go.
Okay, there we go. I have a motion by Commissioner Reed, a second by Commissioner Pritzotes. Commissioner Reed.
I move to approve the agenda as submitted.
Second.
Thank you. Please cast your vote. All right, it's unanimous. Moving on. Approval of the minutes. Consideration, discussion, and possible action to approve the minutes of the Planning Commission study session held on Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, and the Planning Commission meeting held on November 16th, 2023. Can I, Commissioner Pritzotes?
I move to approve the minutes of the Planning Commission study session held on Tuesday, November 14th, 2023, and the Planning Commission meeting held on Thursday, November 16th, 2023.
Commissioner Rodriguez-Elkins?
Second.
All in favor, cast your ballot, please. All right. Perfect. Passes unanimously. And moving on, public hearing item 7.1, PCN 18-0040/MPA 23-0007. Good evening, Danny. Green.
auto voice.
Got it, okay. Well, good evening, Chair Kramer, members of the Planning Commission. I'm Dani Ray with the Planning Division, here to present this item to you today. Oops, there we go. So the subject site is located at 2351 North DeAndrea Parkway, which is shown here, outlined in red, this small little parcel right here. It's located within the larger DeAndrea Plan Development, which is outlined in blue, which is located generally east of Vista Boulevard, north of Prater Way, and south of Los Altos Parkway. So the DeAndrea Plan Development and the associated handbook were originally approved in 1998 and was last amended in 2022. The last associated comprehensive plan land use amendment was approved in 2021. This request seeks to amend the comprehensive plan by changing the land use designation on this very small 1.4 acre site from open space to multifamily residential, or MF14, thereby closing a hole in the land use map within DeAndrea that's shown here on this slide. Subject site is currently developed with a DeAndrea maintenance building. And the Planning Commission may remember when the previous 2021 comprehensive plan amendment was considered by the Planning Commission, the property owner had not yet finalized the plans on where the maintenance facility was going to be relocated, so did not include that parcel in the amendment at that time. No additional residential units are proposed with this land use change, but would rather allow flexibility in the siting of a potential townhome development and the adjacent Monticello Village 23-acre site shown here in this kind of a turquoise color. So the slide on the left shows the current land use of open space adjacent to the MF14, and the slide on the right shows the proposed MF14, which is commensurate with the MF14 adjacent in the Monticello Village. So a request to amend the DeAndrea Handbook is currently being processed by staff and is anticipated to be brought to the Planning Commission at the January 18th meeting. So this concludes the background and analysis sections of the presentation. So I'm going to move into the findings. There's 4. So for finding CP1, pursuant to the regional plan, the subject site has a regional plan Tier 2 land use designation and is located within the Truckee Meadows service area. Properties in the Tier 2 land use designation are characterized by suburban development, and the residential density is limited to a maximum of 10 to 14 dwelling units per acre. The proposed MF14 comprehensive plan land use designation allows for a density range between 10 and 14 dwelling units per acre and complies with regional plan policy RF3 because this range is below the maximum allowed density of 30 dwelling units per acre for the Tier 2 designated land. And I apologize, I had said Tier 2 was 10 to 14, it's 30, so make that correct. Now for finding CP2, amending the comprehensive plan land use designation from OS to MF14 supports goal MG6 and policy MG11. This goal and policy encourage compact development in Sparks to reduce the per capita cost associated with infrastructure, public facilities, and public service provision. The proposed MF14 land use designation supports a range of residential uses, including detached single-family, attached single-family, such as townhomes and condominiums, and duplexes, apartments, supporting goal MG6 and policy MG11. Policy MG4 requires evaluation of impacts on existing infrastructure, services that can be provided, compatibility of land uses, and fiscal implications. Although the subject parcel is only 1.4 acres, it ultimately may be developed in conjunction with the larger 23-acre site. The applicant has therefore submitted an addendum to the original fiscal impact analysis that was considered by the Planning Commission back in 2021. This addendum demonstrates the development of the total site is anticipated to produce a revenue surplus for the city's general fund of $3.1 million over the 20-year analysis period. The project's also estimated to generate a revenue surplus of $217,000 for the city's road fund over that same 20-year period, which will result in an overall positive fiscal impact of approximately $3.3 million. There's a surplus to the road fund because over what the previous fiscal impact analysis has stated, because 238,500 square feet of roadway is now going to be private roadway, so that will not impact the public road fund. Subject site is adjacent to established residential uses and land used as a golf course where city services are currently provided. Emergency services such as police and fire are available and will be provided for future uses of the site. Sewer and stormwater facilities exist in proximity to the subject site and are accessible. Capacity of these facilities will be increased if necessary based on the project ultimately proposed for the site, consistent with policy MG4. As this amendment does not allow for additional density, rather flexibility in the placement of potential units, it will not increase trip generation from what was approved with the 2021 handbook amendment, or comprehensive plan amendment, further supporting policy MG4. For finding CP3, changing the plan, the comprehensive plan land use designation from OS to MF14 is compatible with surrounding land use designations. Properties located south, west, and east of the subject site are designated low-density residential, LDR, and open space, or OS. Properties located north of the subject site are designated multifamily residential, MF24, LDR, and OS. The MF14 Comprehensive Plan Land Use Designation supports high-density, single-family, and low-density multifamily uses. Designation is compatible adjacent to residences located in the LDR and MF24 land use categories and acts as a buffer between the higher density MF24 residential uses to the north of the project and the relatively lower density LDR residential uses in the remaining surrounding area. And finally, for finding CP4, public notice was published in the Reno Gazette on December 5th. The Planning Commission and City Council meetings do function as public hearings for this item. There was a neighborhood meeting as required by Nevada revised statutes, and that was conducted by the applicant's representative on November 28th. 16 people in total, 10 of them being stakeholders, neighbor stakeholders, attended that meeting. The applicant's representative presented the amendment, and those stakeholders in attendance raised issues regarding accommodation of construction traffic associated with any proposed project, and discussed existing issues on perceived existing issues within DeAndrea, excessive speed, parking in red zones on the streets, curbed portions of the roadway, cut and fill for potential grading of the site, and the proposed new location of the maintenance building, and lastly, the effect of the power lines on residential uses. So staff does recommend, the Planning Commission recommend approval of this item to the City Council. And this concludes my presentation, and I'm here to answer any questions, as is the applicant's representative.
Thank you, Danny. Do we have any questions for Danny? Stacy?
Good evening, Stacy Huggins with Wood Rogers on behalf of the applicant. Danny did a great job covering the project. I don't really have anything to add, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Do you have any questions for Stacy? Okay, being as this is a public hearing, I will open up the public hearing at this time. Anybody wishing to speak, come on forward. Okay, seeing nobody, we will close this public hearing. Any further discussion, questions, items? Okay, I will entertain a motion then. Commissioner Rodriguez Elkins.
There it goes. I move to adopt resolution number 240 associated with PCN 18-0040, amending the comprehensive plan land use designation for a 1.4 acre site located at 2351 North DeAndre Parkway, APN 402-100-67, from open space to multifamily residential MF14, based on findings CP1 through CP4, and the facts supporting these findings is set forth in staff report.
Second.
I have a motion by Commissioner Rodriguez Elkins and a second by Commissioner Pritzold. Any further discussion on this before we vote, guys? Okay, seeing none, let's go ahead and cast your vote. And motion is passed unanimously. Thank you. Thank you, Danny. Moving on. Item 8, general business. PCN 17-0053/AR 23-0010. Good evening, Kobe.
Just 1 second, please.
Good evening, Chair Kramer and members of the Planning Commission. For the record, my name is Kobe Galano and I'm a planner here with the City of Sparks. This is a request to review and approve architectural building elevations for a new commercial building within the Stonebrook Plan Development. As the site is located within Stonebrook, the Planning Commission must review the design for conformance with the architectural standards within the Stonebrook Final Design and Regulations Handbook and the Stonebrook Master Development Plan. The vicinity map shown here illustrates the boundary of the Stonebrook Plan Development. The subject site is outlined in red and is a 4.4 acre parcel generally located east of Pyramid Highway, south of Dakota Hills Drive, and north of Opio Ranch Parkway. Proposed on the subject site is a commercial building totaling 4,350 square feet. The site is zoned NUD, or New Urban District, and is subject to the requirements of the Stonebrook Handbook and the Master Development Plan. As previously stated, the Planning Commission review is limited to the review of the architectural elevations as the construction, siting, landscaping, and circulation was reviewed and approved by staff administratively. This slide features the north and west building elevations and an analysis that demonstrates the proposed colors and materials featured in the project are consistent with the architectural requirements and color palette as set forth in the Stonebrook Handbook and Master Development Plan. These can both be seen in Exhibit 3 and 4. The project will incorporate a color scheme that uses primarily earth tones, providing additional visual articulation to the design that, that complements the surrounding natural environment. The building includes two types of stone masonry with a white and brown profile, beige stucco on the front, sides, and rear of the building, and an arching feature over the front door of the building, as well as medium bronze metal coping along the roof line and dark bronze aluminum window and door frames. Flat roof lines on the building are broken with both horizontal and vertical offsets. And in addition, vertical planes on the building are broken with the placement of framed windows, metal awnings, color and material changes, and horizontal and vertical offsets. This slide features the south and east building elevations. These elevations maintain the architectural theme of the building's north and west elevations and include sections of red stucco. As you can see, that's located above the bay doors on the building. Staff believes that the proposed building elevations comply with the Stonebrook Handbook and Stonebrook Master Development Plan and recommends approval by the Planning Commission. This concludes my presentation, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Have any questions for Kobe? Okay. All right. Well, considering that, I will entertain a motion.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Nieberlein, I would move to approve the architectural elevations for the 4,350 square foot commercial building associated with AR 23-0010 in fulfillment with the requirements set forth in the Stonebrook Final Design Standards and Regulations Handbook and Stonebrook Master Development Plan.
Thank you, Commissioner Nieberlein. Can I get, can we fix this?
Does it come from her end?
Yes.
I think we did it at the same time.
Okay. All right, there we go.
There, got it.
Okay. I have a motion by Commissioner Nieberlein, a second by Commissioner Rodriguez Elkins.
Is that it, David?
Any further discussion regarding this matter? All right, cast your vote, please. Motion passes unanimously. Moving on, I know Kobe, you are up to bat again.
I am.
PCN 17-0053/AR 23-0040.
Good evening again, Chair Kramer and members of the Planning Commission. I am Kobe Galano, a planner here with the City of Sparks. This is a request to review and approve architectural building elevations for a commercial building within the Stonebrook Plan Development. As the site is located within Stonebrook, the Planning Commission must review the design for conformance with the architectural standards within the Stonebrook Final Design and Regulations Handbook and the Stonebrook Master Development Plan. The vicinity map shown here illustrates the boundary of the Stonebrook Plan development. The subject site is outlined in red and is a 4.4 acre parcel located east of Pyramid Highway, south of Dakota Hills Drive, and north of Opio Ranch Parkway. Proposed on the subject site is a 1,915 square foot commercial building. The site is zoned NUD or New Urban District and is subject to the requirements of the Stonebrook Handbook and Master Development Plan. As previously stated, the Planning Commission review is limited to the review of architectural elevations as the construction, siding, landscaping, and circulation was reviewed and approved by staff administratively. This slide features the north and south elevations of the building and an analysis that demonstrates the proposed colors and materials featured in the project are consistent with the architectural requirements and color palette as set forth in the Stonebrook Handbook and Master Development Plan, and those can be seen in Exhibit 3 and 4. The project provides visual cohesion with the design guidelines while maintaining design elements that are vital to the corporate identity for its current intended tenant, which is Wendy's. This building includes stucco with a color scheme of brown and gray with red accents, knotwood aluminum siding with a wood grain appearance, brushed aluminum metal canopies, dark bronze aluminum window and door frames, and vertical metal trellises for plant growth. Flat roof lines on the building are avoided with both horizontal and vertical offsets, and in addition, vertical planes on the building are broken with the placement of framed windows, metal awnings, color and material changes, and horizontal and vertical offsets. This slide features the east and west building elevations, which maintain the architectural theme of the building's north and south elevations and feature the building's drive-through component. Staff believes that the proposed building elevations comply with these standards and the Stonebrook Handbook and Master Development Plan and recommend approval by the Planning Commission. This concludes my second presentation, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions for Kobe?
I actually have.
Okay, Commissioner Pritzos.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just curious, is the red used in other parts of Stonebrook, or is it just part of the corporate branding?
I don't know if this specific color is utilized on any existing buildings. However, yes, sir. Yes, that's a great idea, Jim. Thank you. Stacy.
Good evening again. Stacy Huggins with Wood Rogers for the record, on behalf of the applicant. So the red that you see with Wendy's has not been incorporated in other projects, but it is on the approved palette color that's associated with Stonebrook West across the commercial areas.
Okay, yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Okay. Any other questions for Stacy, since she's here? Okay. All right. Any discussion regarding this? Okay. I will entertain a motion then. Commissioner Pritzos.
I move to approve the architectural elevations for the 1,915 square foot commercial building as proposed in AR 23-0040 in fulfillment with the requirements set forth in the Stonebrook Triennial Design Standards and Regulations Handbook and Stonebrook Master Development Plan.
Commissioner Rawson.
I second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Pritzos, a second by Commissioner Rawson. Any further discussion? Seeing none, let's enter your, and motion passes unanimously. All right, Kobe, you're up to bat again.
Last one, I promise.
All right.
You're gonna be saying that Stonebrook paragraph in your sleep.
That's right. Oh, PCN 17-0053, sorry. AR 23-0041. My apologies, Kobe. Now you can start.
Good evening again, Chair Kramer and members of the Planning Commission. My name is Kobe Galano, and I'm a planner here with the City of Sparks. This is a request to review and approve architectural building elevations for a commercial building in the Stonebrook Plan Development. As the site is located within Stonebrook, the Planning Commission must review the design for conformance with the architectural standards set forth in the Stonebrook Final Designs Final Design and Regulations Handbook, and the Stonebrook Master Development Plan. The vicinity map shown here illustrates the boundary of the Stonebrook Plan development. The subject site is located on a 4.4 acre parcel, which is outlined in red. This is generally located east of Pyramid Highway, south of Dakota Hills Drive, and north of Opio Ranch Parkway. Proposed on the subject site is an 11,803 square foot commercial building. The site is zoned NUD, or New Urban District, and is subject to the requirements of the Stonebrook Handbook and Master Development Plan. As previously stated, the Planning Commission review is limited to the review of the architectural elevations, as the construction, siting, landscaping, and circulation was reviewed and approved by staff administratively. This slide features the north and east building elevations and an analysis that demonstrates the proposed colors and materials used in the project are consistent with the architectural requirements and color palette as set forth in the Stonebrook Handbook and Master Development Plan, which can be seen in Exhibit 3 and 4. The project will incorporate a color scheme that uses shades of light and medium earth tones, providing additional visual articulation to the design that complements the surrounding natural environment. The building includes two types of stone masonry with an off-white and brown profile, a gray stucco siding, off-white aluminum trim, and dark gray shingles on the roof. Flat roof lines on the building are avoided with varied roof forms, dormers, and horizontal and vertical offsets. And in addition, vertical planes on the building are broken with the placement of framed windows, color and material changes, and horizontal and vertical offsets as well. This slide features the west and south building elevations, which maintain the architectural theme of the building's north and east elevations, with the south elevation really exemplifying the offsets and the varied roof forms. Staff believes that the proposed building elevations comply with the standards in the Stonebrook Handbook and the Stonebrook Master Development Plan, and recommends approval by the Planning Commission. This concludes my final presentation, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Thank you, Kobe. Questions for Kobe? Questions for the applicant? All right, I will entertain a motion then. Commissioner Sperber.
I move to approve the architectural elevations for the 11,803 square foot commercial building as proposed in the AR 23-0041 in fulfillment with the requirements set forth in the Stonebrook Final Design Standards and Regulations Handbook and Stonebrook Master Development Plan.
Commissioner Rossin.
And I second that.
I have a motion by Commissioner Sperber, a second by Commissioner Rossin. Any further discussion, questions? Okay, cast your votes, please. And motion passes unanimously. Thank you, Kobe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stacy. Okay, Mr. Rundle, do we have any announcements, presentations, any of that tonight? No. Okay, moving on. Public comment, final public comment of the evening. I'm opening up. Do we have anyone here wishing to make public comment at this time? Okay, closing public comment. Staff comments and announcements. Sir.
I don't have anything.
Oh, darn it. Commissioner comments and announcements.
Merry Christmas.
I second that. Merry Christmas. Anything else, guys? All right. Well, have a safe and happy holiday, everybody. This meeting is adjourned. See you all next year.
According to the clock, it didn't take any
Well,
time.
I know, all right. We were